feeling of great triumph and victory.
Yeah. Let the truth be told. You want the truth, you came to the right show. Yeah. Talk to me, tell me what's going on. Alan and EMJ, we talk about back in the day to up to date, and you know it's nothing but love and no hate. LP Reese gave us the okay. Okay, let's go. Welcome to the Lineage Show. Okay, let's go. The Lineage.
Form the front line of that march. To my left, march Jose Williams holding his daughter. I march next to him. Mrs. King march next to him. Dr. King march next to her. On the way to the Capitol, you hear Dr. King make that speech that day. I sat on that platform, looked out over that sea of humanity, and I had a feeling of great triumph and victory. That having gone through all of the indignities, all the sacrifices, not all seemed good. I had a feeling of great triumph and victory.
Yeah. Let the truth be told. You want the truth, you came to the right show. Yeah. Talk to me, tell me what's going on. Alan and EMJ, we talk about back in the day to up to date, and you know it's nothing but love and no hate. LP Reese gave us the okay. Okay, let's go. Welcome to the Lineage Show. Okay, let's go. The Lineage.
Form the front line of that march. To my left, march Jose Williams holding his daughter. I march next to him. Mrs. King march next to him. Dr. King march next to her. On the way to the Capitol, you hear Dr. King make that speech that day. I sat on that platform, looked out over that sea of humanity, and I had a feeling of great triumph and victory. That having gone through all of the indignities, all the sacrifices, not all seemed good.
Welcome to the Lineage Podcast once again on this thankful Thursday. And we appreciate y'all joining us. We are the Lineage. This is the Lineage Podcast. Why are we the Lineage? Because we are the grandsons of the late, great Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Reese and Mrs. Aline C. Reese. If you don't know who he is, the chief orchestrator of the voting rights movement himself, the man who's officially signed a letter to invite Dr. King, John Lewis, everybody, you name them, to Selma, Alabama. To assist in the local efforts with the voting rights movement. So that is him, other than Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Reese. So that's why we are the Lineage. And this is one of our things we like to do called the Lineage Podcast. And we appreciate y'all joining us. This is one of our favorite things because we get the people to come in and we can have a conversation. And we can agree, we can disagree, we can fellowship, we can come back, we can meet at the table. And it's always a good thing to have these type of discussions. We have a great show today. We have 3 topics. Now, two of them is centered around. Now, here's the thing. When y'all president got elected again, it's one thing that we knew was gonna happen. It's gonna be some media centered around him because
yes, sir.
he gonna stay at the top of hot topics and fresh news. So it's centered around. Someone asked me what is our show centered around, and I said we kind of like a gumbo. We can go different ways, but it's about Black empowerment. It's about we talk politics. We can talk family, and it's all centered around the Black family and what's going on with us. We are one of the hopefully we can get across the board, across the nation here. One of the only podcasts like ours. And we're talking about a direct lineage from the civil rights movement. So we appreciate everybody joining us. We appreciate their support. People have been getting in my cars and they've been subscribing when I'm driving them around. So it's all good. But normally First Nurse comes on, but First Nurse has to do First Nurse things today. So she's not with us today, but she will be back next week. So what we're gonna do is go into the first topic. I think we're going to let's go into let me read. I'm gonna read something first. Let me bring up the banner. I'm gonna read something first, and then y'all can see South African refugees. If you haven't seen the news, if you've been living under a rock, this is about to floor you. So make sure you're sitting down. So let me read these the banners first. It's a little mind blowing, but here we go. And I'll read as quick as I can. So this says, are white South Africans really refugees? A historian who grew up under apartheid explained. Matter of fact, let me move the banner right quick so we can read the whole thing. Right here it says, under the second Trump administration, there's one group of people getting expedited access to refugee status and resettlement in the U.S. It's not citizens of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where 6.1 million people have been internally displaced due to decades of fighting among armed groups and widespread gender-based violence. The U.S. is not currently accepting the DRC citizens as refugees under President Donald Trump. It's not Afghan citizens either, despite the continued human rights violations, especially against women and girls, perpetrated by the Taliban after the U.S. withdrawal from the country in 2021. Instead, the Trump administration is now revoking temporary protections for many Afghans already in America, which could result in their deportation back to Afghanistan. And it's not the Sudanese people, of whom nearly 8.6 million have been internally displaced amid a conflict between military and paramilitary forces. A subset of white South Africans, known as Afrikaners, are the only people Trump has newly admitted to the U.S. as refugees. Trump has described them without evidence as victims of a genocide that's taken place. An anti-white discrimination, echoing rhetoric that has long circulated on the far right. And he sought to punish South Africa. Let me get it right. He sought to punish South Africa. Where my banner at? Where my banner? He sought to punish South Africa for that by cutting off U.S. aid. Where can we go with this? You can go many ways with this. The contradictory way or whatever. This is Alan's.
It's Jim Crow.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. What you think about this?
It's like you said, gumbo. We done put Confederacy, Jim Crow, white supremacy, all that in one pot. Now remember, he turned the Haitians away. Remember that,
right?
He turned all the people coming from Mexico. He turned all them away, shut the borders down. But once again, the white man in America is gonna do white man things. And what I mean by this, MJ. Now both sides, Republicans and Democrats, the white man still has an agenda, and they're gonna take care of the white family. Regardless, think about it. Biden brought over who? The Ukrainians.
That's right.
Okay. All right. They come in, they identify with white people, MJ.
Mm-hmm.
Now look, Trump doing the South Africans. You know what I'm saying? But they'll tell us to go back to Africa.
Right.
You get what I'm saying, MJ?
Mm-hmm.
But now let's help them. First, America, it's supposed to be America first.
Mm-hmm.
When it was the Haitians, when it was the black folks and the brown people coming over, America first, and to shut down the borders for that.
Mm-hmm.
But now, since it's the white man and the white family, let's open our borders because so much is going on. Look, that's straight white supremacy. You know what I'm saying, MJ? That's just
100%.
what it is. And in that sense, that's just how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, it's the children of the Confederacy. Trump has an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Everything Trump does is not wrong. Don't get me wrong, but he does align himself with the white supremacy agenda, the mega agenda, the make
Right.
America great again.
Now, that's what this. Let me, because this video is aligned to what you said. I got a minute and a half video. So watch this, and we're gonna come right back to you.
The administration says white South Africans, especially farmers, are being discriminated against, denied job opportunities, and have been subject to violence because of their race.
It's a genocide that's taking place. White farmers are being brutally killed and their land is being confiscated.
Welcome to the United States of America.
On Monday, members of the Trump administration welcomed 49 Afrikaners to the U.S.
We're sending a clear message that the United States really rejects the egregious persecution of people on the basis of race in South Africa.
The South African government strongly disputes claims of discrimination and violence and says allegations of genocide have been widely discredited. Meanwhile, Trump's move has prompted the Episcopal Church to end a decades-long partnership with the U.S. government, helping resettle refugees. The church citing moral opposition to resettling the new arrivals in light of its commitment to racial justice and reconciliation and its ties to the church in South Africa.
It also saddens us to see that other refugees who are being denied entrance to the United States are people, brave people who've worked alongside of our military.
As the Trump administration launches this new South African refugee program, it's announced the end of protected status for thousands of Afghans in the U.S.
Boy, that made my blood boil.
Hey, man.
I never seen that video.
Yeah.
It made my blood boil. The audacity
Mm-hmm.
for those white people, for Donald Trump to say the things he said. But we just acknowledged the anniversary of America putting bombs in Philadelphia in a black community.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
Now, we talking about genocide. Oh, have you forgotten about Tulsa, Oklahoma?
On our own soil.
Have you forgotten about Rosewood, Florida? Have you forgotten about Charleston, South Carolina? Have you forgotten about Atlanta 1818? Have you forgotten about New Orleans? Have you forgotten about Arkansas? Have we forgotten about all the black communities that the white man in America, the white family in America that put genocide on black people, that these black people have not gotten their land back, they have not gotten their money back. You won't talk about reparations, but you have the audacity to talk about white folks from Africa and give them our tax dollars, MJ, to take care of them when you would not even have the discussion, bring the discussion to the Congress to have to talk about reparation for black people when you've had been genocide since we've been in America.
Yep.
And I can go back to the first slave ship all the way from the Emancipation Proclamation. We can go back to mass incarceration. We can go back to the crack and cocaine epidemic in the black community. We can go. Where do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Shall I keep going?
And it's still going.
Shall I keep going? And you have the audacity to say those words. Those words when black folks who stood up for America, who fought in the Revolutionary War, who fought in the Civil War, who fought the Declaration of Independence 1776, it was black people fighting in that war and in the Civil War for the Union. And you still Man, I promise my grandma and my mama won't watch, and I'll say some more words. I would say other words, MJ. I would say something else. And for black people who support Trump, I understand he's the president for the people. But for you to sit there and don't speak up, shame on you. I would rather for you to do like Sammy Sosa did, go bleach your skin and be white.
Yeah.
Because that is a shame, MJ.
Yep.
That's a shame for them to utter those words. And the reason why they're bringing them over here, and you can't look around in your own country and learn. See, this is why they've been going after the civil rights and everything black folks have fought for, because they want to erase it so they can say and do things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So they can say and create their own narrative. And we as black people have to continue to speak up and still talk about and do the things that our ancestors stood up for and did in America. We cannot continue to let the white man in America to create a narrative that's just not true. Donald Trump should be ashamed of himself. His cabinet should be ashamed of themselves to utter those words. When you can't look at the black folks, the black family in America, and get it right. How dare you go over the waters, cross the waters, and try to make things right when you can't make it right for the black family in America? When you've done everything in your power to destroy us. Yep. Everything. Now, what's next?
Hey, don't. It's going to keep going. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, man. It's ridiculous. It don't shock me. It different ways and different fashions, different forms, man. They always show us that they really don't care about us at the end of the day, man. So we gotta, a lot of the times as blacks, we gotta understand when we start going to these polls, we gotta remember things like this. And we gotta
it's beyond the polls, bro.
Facts.
It's beyond the polls. I'm telling black people, bear arms. Mindset need to change. Have Martin and Malcolm mindset. Show America it's over. Using black people and killing us and destroying us is over. Black people need to learn how to fight back, MJ.
Thanks.
Because what they're showing, and excuse my language, and I'm going to say it, America don't give a damn about us.
Correct.
And that's just the truth. For them to utter those words, you have really took upon the spirit of your ancestors, Donald Trump, of your ancestors, Edmund Pettis. Yeah, that's your ancestor, Edmund Pettis. You have really took on his spirit. And to utter those words when you can't look in your own backyard. Shoot, and a black person got the audacity to go to, and you know, MJ, let me tell you something. I had thought about voting for Donald Trump. I had thought about it because, and guess what? Just because I'm on the Donald Trump behind, that don't mean I'm off them Democrats behind. That don't mean it. But I was close to it. I'm being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But it's other things that I thought about why I didn't vote for Donald Trump. At the same time, it is a shame that he has the right to utter those words. It's a shame that black people, what's Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court judge? You hear that? How do that make you feel?
It don't make Clarence. It don't make Clarence. I'm positive it don't make Clarence feel no way.
Like, come on, man.
Not Clarence.
Man, black people really need to hit the reset button. We need to really get our churches, our fraternities, everything, and we need to use everything we have, and we really need to have an honest discussion. Who are we to America, and what America is to us, and what do we have to do to change our communities and protect ourselves, and to change the mindset. Forget asking them to change their mindset. We need to force their mindset to change. Force their mindset to change.
Yep.
Come on, man. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We see it all the time. It don't make no sense. Don't wipe your sweat off yet, bro, because you still gonna listen. We're gonna go to commercial. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna be right back. Don't go nowhere, y'all. Don't go nowhere.
I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed that we were going to march.
Nice.
We'll stand strong. Where we belong. It's not about yourself.
First of all, serving notice on our nation. It's Dr. Frederick Douglass Reed's
We march. We march. We march. To march.
He said, what shall we do? I said, we are going back. He said, yeah.
Welcome back. Lineage Podcast. Welcome back, bro. I had to wipe his sweat off.
I had to, MJ. I had to, boy.
Hey, he was preaching. He was for the tune up over there.
Tune up, MJ. All I need is a B3.
Hey,
Yeah.
but you're 100% right, man. But yeah, we're gonna keep the show going. Yeah, man. The video y'all saw with it's crazy because we see Granddaddy getting pushed down the steps with the teachers, with the Billy Club. And it's crazy. Some of the things that they were fighting for 60 years ago. It's still happening now.
Still fighting for it.
You're still fighting for it. Just a different face. But this one gonna get your sweat going back. Now, we know the use of the N-word when it comes to blacks in America and white supremacy and the fictitious Jim Crow and how that word was used, and it pierces our soul because some of the, when we were called that name, some of the things that were done to us while we were called that name were just is ridiculous, to say the least. But we have someone who says they use that word and is very unapologetic about it. They don't have no type of they're getting backlash from certain people, but they don't have no type of remorse with it. Her name is Lily Gaddis, and she says that she's a MAGA influencer. Now, so it's her name, Lily Gaddis. Now, watch. I don't take my word for it. Just listen to her and watch the video. She was on Piers Morgan. Watch the video.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, well, if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Right. Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate
uses
to
it
use the
about
N
black
word?
people.
When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
As the interview went on, forgot the black guy, Lamont. I think his name is Lamont. He kind of spazzed out a little bit because Piers Morgan kind of was like, "Well, you say the N word now," you know, and Lamont kind of took that a little disrespectful because you know you don't get in a black man on your show and then you're trying to enforce the N word to be used with him on the show. So he felt that kind of way. So that kind of went viral. But the reason why they were talking about this, if you don't know, it was the lady that was in the park that called a 5-year-old autistic black boy the N word because he took a toy. And I meant to find the lady's name, but I didn't. But they started it's not a GoFundMe, it's another platform that they raise money. And this lady had raised thousands of dollars. But the GoFundMe for Carmelo Anthony did not raise anywhere near the same amount of money. So that's where the conversation began.
They showing their power. See, now they used to couldn't speak about it, couldn't say it out front. Now they got backing, MJ. It's a shame, bro. But that shows the true hearts. This lady young.
Yeah, she's not. I think she's not even 40, or if she is 40, early 40.
Young. Racism is taught. So while we out there continuing to listen to gangster rap, letting our kids do what they want to do, white folks preparing to continue to control.
Correct.
It's everything for them, MJ. Let's have an honest conversation.
Yeah.
See, they teaching their kids to continue to hold up, regardless if you say it could be hate, whatever you want to say. They're teaching their kids a mindset to have, regardless of what we look at as right or wrong, to continue to have a strong mindset of white supremacy. That's what they're teaching their kids behind closed doors.
Correct.
Because you don't have this woman talking the way she speaks if she has not been groomed to speak this way.
Yeah, because she wasn't born in Jim Crow era.
Yeah, she's been groomed to speak this way from her upbringing. Okay, not only just in the home, but her culture. I guarantee where that young lady goes to church, most of the people who go to that church think like her. Okay, that's just simple as that.
Yeah.
But when you look at us as black people, we teaching our kids to continue to kill each other.
Right.
Friendly fire. We continue to take out our own soldiers. We sitting here burying each other. We like saying rest in peace. And then go and listen to the same music and praise the same music that was the leading cause of the mindset of why we're saying rest in peace. But we don't want to talk about that.
Fact.
We don't want to talk about that. We got to stay off the gangster rap. They don't want us to talk about the gangster rap. When the gangster rap and the mindset of the gangster rap supposed to have been the ones who's supposed to have been protecting our communities. Rap was not created to be self-inflictive. You know
yeah, it didn't start. It didn't start that way.
We made it that way. Well, the powers that be made it that way to turn us because they knew it is MJ. It is a case study. How do we continue to break up the black family because we cannot allow for them to be together? How can we take out the old, the young, and the family? How can we separate?
Yeah.
Divide and conquer. But they are together, MJ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And guess what? I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm happy I see that lady for who she is. Because
I was about to say that.
At least we know she a stone cold racist.
Right.
I'd rather have my racism in my face than the ones who say they got my back but pass policies and don't do things that benefit me.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the Democrats do. You know
That's
what I'm
fact.
saying? Throw a rock and hide their hand. That's why, think about MJ, you can say what you want to say. We can agree to this. Most racist people are Republicans. I'm not saying all Republicans are racist. Listen to what I just said if it went over your head.
Mm-hmm.
Most racist people are Republicans.
That's fact.
Not all Republicans are racist. One thing we know about those Republicans, they stand together.
Mm-hmm.
They stand together. We Democrats, guess what? You got a lot of racism in the Democrats. That's why they don't stand together, MJ.
Mm-hmm.
They are if you understand the history of the Dixiecrats, I'm not going to go too deep in that. But this is when you start seeing the parties change faces. But during that time of the Dixiecrats, you start seeing people with the other mindset of the other party coming to the other party to change the mindset to rule. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you have white racists who purposely go into the Democratic Party to control, MJ.
Correct.
That's just
100%.
what we is. That's just what
100%.
we is. They're wolves in sheep clothing. So we as a people, this right here is more than voting, MJ.
Facts.
We got to stop being lazy as a people and think it's all about a vote when it's not. I always say, if you got a pizza, voting is a slice of pizza. We can't continue to go cast a vote and thinking that's going say take care of all our problems. That's just not so.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. When we're not in our homes, we're not teaching our kids, we're not doing it, we're not putting discipline in schools. It's a lot of stuff that we and let me tell you something, MJ.
Mm-hmm.
And this go to another thing. Election coming up. Trump did something, and I want black folks to listen to me when I say this. Trump took away the Federal Board of Education. Now, what people don't realize is this is what I want people to pay attention to. What the racist white man finna do. It's finna be an uproar because what Trump didn't realize, a lot of the Federal Board of Education was sending a lot of money down to the states and now vouchers. You had a lot of vouchers for families that's well-to-do, but they might not have all the money to send their kids to private school because we don't want to send them to public school with you know who.
Right.
But I need a little help. So what the states do, they give vouchers. This is why charter schools and the public schools fight against vouchers so much, because it is federal funding and state funding that we give to people so they can send their kids to private schools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, since Trump took away the Federal Board of Education, that money is straight statewide. Let's see if they're going to continue to give those vouchers to those families instead of sending those kids to public schools.
Mm-hmm.
Most people in the racist white community send their kids when they can't afford they send their kids to private school, MJ.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to this young lady, boy, I just don't know. The writing is on the wall for us as black people to come together. And this is why, MJ, I'm being honest. This is why when I see situations like Selma, Alabama, I'm going to get to Selma real quick.
Okay.
And guess what? I'm going to speak about this, and I want people to, I want people to talk about it. Selma, you have an opportunity that you have more black people in Selma than whites. This is how white supremacy works. Okay? You got more black vote than whites in Selma. You got more black city councils than white in Selma.
Mm-hmm.
But what white people do, this is the same thing Republicans do, Democrats. What they do, they go find the weak links and they conquer, they divide and conquer. Right now, you have I can only talk about Selma because that's home and I know what's going on in Selma government.
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's still white supremacy in control, because what they do, they divide black people, and black people can't come together and move things forward, because they had a mindset, if you're not gonna have it like I want it, like the Republicans did Obama trying to get another Supreme Court judge, if we can't get what we want, we gonna divide and conquer.
Correct.
So you look at Selma. Now think about it, MJ. Joe T. Smitherman was the mayor in Selma for 36 years.
Correct.
Every time he was mayor, he had a city council president that was in a line with him to move things forward and get the agenda done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm finna show you something. For 36 years, what we know,
yeah,
Joe T. Smitherman and the city council president was on one accord.
Correct.
You don't be mayor and say, I don't even care as a white man for 36 years without having a city council member, a city council president, and y'all on one accord to move the city forward. That means that you're doing your job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This what black people messed me up. When Perkins became the first mayor, black man said
2000, right?
2000.
Yeah.
Who was the city council president? Evans.
Oh, that's right.
Second black.
The second black mayor. Mm-hmm.
They didn't get along. Dario, when Perkins was mayor, then Perkins did his 8 years, then Evans became mayor.
Mm-hmm.
City council member, city council president. You know. Dario became mayor. City council president. Billy Young. You know. Perkins mayor now. City council president. Billy Young.
Still Billy Young, yeah.
Can't get along. These ain't white folks.
Mm-hmm.
MJ.
Mm-hmm.
These ain't white folks.
Mm-hmm.
These black folks. See, one thing I know about Atlanta, Georgia, where we at, the mayor and the city council president. See, when people go to vote, when y'all go vote this year, I want y'all to think about something. When you go to the polls this year, when people campaigning this year, this is how you beat white supremacy, MJ, in the polls, when out on the voting side of it.
Mm-hmm.
You make sure the person who's running for mayor and you make sure the person who's running for city council president has the same agenda. Because in Atlanta, regardless what you can say, Atlanta got a lot of things going on, but the mayor and the city council president is always on one accord, because they know we can't be at disagreement to lock the money up. We can't make our money going through the city be constipated. We can't be walking around here constipated, MJ.
Right.
The money got to flow.
Correct.
I got to keep eating prunes. I got to keep eating laxatives. The money got to flow. But what white supremacy do when they see black people has taken over as far as voting in numbers, what they do, they go find the weak links. We'll separate you one or two people. We'll go after the mayor and the city council president to make sure they don't be on one accord, because if they not, the city ain't gonna move forward. And that's why Selma look the same way it look right now.
Yep.
I guarantee if Perkins would have had a city council president that believed in his agenda, the city will move forward. If Dario would have had a city council president with his agenda, that believe in his agenda, the city will move forward. So what I'm saying, I need black folks in Selma. When you see your mayor and you see your city council president out in the streets, ask them the question: are y'all on one accord?
There you go.
If they not, don't vote for them, MJ.
Mm-hmm.
Don't vote for them. Because if you do, your city gonna stay constipated, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The money ain't gonna move. Look what they blocking and Selma. I looked at the city council. And MJ, go back to my point with white supremacy. Because what white supremacy has done to black people, we don't know how to truly run government.
Right.
We don't know. MJ, I'm sorry to stay on there, but I got to.
No, come on. You cooking. You cooking.
Selma. Perkins asked for a convention. I think a convention center or whatever for Selma, Alabama. to put more money into it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I understand that when you have a place, a convention center, a World Congress Center, or whatnot, you have businesses around the world that come. Me and you both know we drive black truck. We got our own limo services. He got his, MC Marie. I got Reese and Jolly. We drive millionaires and corporate America around every day. Guess what they going to? The World Congress Center, the convention.
They sure do.
Guess why Atlanta put the biggest hotel in Atlanta next to the Dome and it's connected to the World Congress Center? Because we want them to come. We want them to have their seminars at the World Congress Center about their business. Then we want them to stay in them hotels, and then we want them to go eat, and we're gonna have entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
None of them live here,
right?
But they come here to do what? To spend money.
Mm-hmm.
So once you put a convention center or whatever center in Selma, you put up you build up your hotels. You already got the tourism. Guess what? You know how many people I take to the King Center every day?
Yes, sir.
Huh? To the aquarium?
Yep.
You know how many people that we take?
And they don't live here.
They don't live here. That we take their own business trip, but then they go and view tourism.
Yep.
Atlanta has a big tourism. New York, when you look at tourism, MJ, that's why these states and these cities put so much money into hotels and dining, because it's about their tourism.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
New York and took tours.
That's why the College Hall of Fame down here.
Yeah, College Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame.
It's connected right there by the convention center.
Right there by the convention center. Right there. It's connected to it. That CNN building, you got Centennial Park.
Yep.
Got the Beltline.
Yep.
These folks come here and they have tourism for them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But what white supremacy do, keep us divided.
That's right.
But see, in Atlanta, man, black folks, look, white supremacy been trying to take the busiest airport in the world, not in the nation, in the world, away from black people. Why? If it's working, why fix it? Because they're mad. Kemp Neal want to take that airport from being controlled by the mayor in the black city council in Atlanta. Why? It's about money and control, because they know that black people make decisions on the contracts that goes into the airport. He know that they're doing the same thing that white people do. Mm-hmm. They put their boys on. They put their own on. And you right. You go in the Atlanta airport, you got all type of black history, art, you got all type of stuff in the Atlanta airport, and I appreciate it.
Yep. 100%.
We got to learn how things work, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We do. We don't know how it works. Stop letting these white supremacist people separate us. When we have control in numbers, they need to come negotiate with us. But we need to know, hey, this the plan we moving forward. Y'all had all these years while we was in slavery, Jim Crow, to move y'all plan for it. Y'all had all the good days. It's our time now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how black folks need to start being, bro.
That's right.
Y'all need to go back to your homes and start having some backdoor meetings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much they don't like it.
Right.
Go have them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, cook some dinner, and you invite that man over, and y'all have a conversation and start saying, this is what we gonna do. Mm-hmm. Go have it.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Shoot.
Yeah. 100%. You cooking today. Now I'm gonna let you cook. Rubbing the sweat off. Now listen, the last topic. I was gonna play one video, but I'm gonna play this one because it makes sense for what we're about to talk about now. Before I play the video, my question is: are teachers fed up? Let me just say that, are teachers fed up? Let me play this video here.
In January the 22nd, I guess the Lord had me in the right place, the right time, with the right commitment. I was president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And then we had agreed that, and I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed, after they signed their names to a petition, that we were going to march as a teacher group. And so on January 22nd, We met at Clark Elementary School here, which was the school where I attended the first grade through the sixth grade. We met upstairs, and we marched up a file. My partner was my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade science teacher. His name was Mr. A.J. Durgan. He was the incoming president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And we led that march, teachers, for the first time in the United States, coming down the steps of Clark Elementary School, down Lawn Street, down to Alabama Avenue, down to the courthouse. Teachers for the first time. Getting down to the county courthouse, that was standing next to the steps, the superintendent of education, the chairman of the board of education, to persuade me, because I was a teacher, to take the teachers back to the school because we had made a point, and that no longer should we try to pursue that right from that particular point. And I told him we had a right to be at the county courthouse. It was our courthouse. We were not backing down from our right to be there. And I asked the superintendent and the chairman of the board, who signed my check, to step aside. We went up those steps. Jim Clark had his deputies across the door, and he indicated that we were trying to make a mockery out of his courthouse. And we indicated to him that that was our courthouse also. He gave us 1 minute to move off of those steps. At the expiration of that minute, he took the billy club and jabbed us down the steps on the sidewalk. And my partner, Mr. A.J. Durgan, who, as I said, was my teacher, he was not quite used to that stuff like I was. And he asked me on the ground, he said, "What shall we do?" I said, "We are going back." He said, Yeah. And so we went back the second time. We jabbed down the steps after a minute, and he asked me the same question. I gave him the same answer, and he gave me the same response. The third time, when I really was trying to get all the teachers arrested, because teachers were not aware of the tremendous influence. They were the largest black professional group here in Dallas County. And so after going back the third time, he said, "If you don't go up these steps, Jim Clark," said, "we're going to arrest you." I said to myself, "Exactly what I want you to do." And so at about 45 seconds before that minute expired, someone on the inside of the courthouse came and pulled him on the inside of the courthouse door and said, I didn't go in there with him, but I can imagine what they told him. "For goodness sake, don't arrest those teachers."
That was the Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Reese, recalling January 22nd, 1965. I wanted to play that video before this last topic to show how important teachers were and are to majority of people. But let me show this picture, the reason why I played that. And I want to see if y'all agree with this. Now, this is not stamped, but it said, if your kid hits a teacher, you may go to jail under Georgia's Parent Accountability Act, proposed by Teachers Union. My granddad, like he said, he was the president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And one, we know that teachers don't get the same respect now as they did in his time. But I want to propose the question and put it on the table. Are teachers fed up with kids' behavior? And if this was stamped and solidified under law, do you agree with parents getting held to some type of accountability for the action of their children? What you think about that, bro?
Yeah, I feel like they do. They should. If we're not going to implement what made our school systems great, then I agree to what you just posted. And what I mean by that MJ, when we took discipline out of the school system, when you took the when you took the authority of the principal paddling the kids and putting and discipline your child over the years, this is what you get. See, the effects of it went right off because we had parents who was raising the kids that still had the mindset of the principals who were paddling them. See, we was raised by our parents in the same manner that our parents raised them. But remember, as the federal government began to go in our homes, they told us that the mindset of discipline whooping gives more mental bad effects than good, which is a lie that I believe.
Yeah.
Because if that was true, then why are we in a undisciplined era with young folks that we are, who don't care, who fight teachers, who have fight your hit your teacher whatever thing they had on TikTok.
Yeah, slap your teacher challenge.
Slap your teacher challenge. Those things would have never happened in FD Reasoning Day across the nation, bruh.
Even in our day, bro.
In our day, that would have never. And MJ, you could have gave us social media. We had MySpace. We had all those things. You still wasn't going to see that because our generation believed in discipline. So we want to continue to try to walk around and create little things and not look at the real issue. I guarantee if they implement that your child can get paddled when they act up or they do wrong by the principal, or if you don't want the principal to paddle them, you got to come into the school and paddle them in front of the principal. You got to miss your job. You got to miss time off work to come up there and do this, or your child can't come back to school. MJ, things will change. It would take one school system year.
Yeah.
It would take 1 year, MJ.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because these kids know they got power, these parents, they want to fight the teacher. They believe everything they kids said. MJ, my kids got to prove they were right.
Yes,
I'm automatically on the teacher's side.
You damn near. Oh, I'm sorry, grandma, mama, yeah, because you damn near got to be a lawyer.
Yeah,
me.
I'm on the adult side, and I don't put kids in adults conversation.
Correct, and I'll say this, bro. I'll say, I think if you could give them an option with this, I would sign yes to this. Should parents be held accountable for their kids in school? What I would say is I would bring back a little what you said. I would say, well, these are the rules and regulations. I have to go statewide and nationwide. We're paddling kids. We can record it and send you the video because when I got paddled, I think they stopped when I was in 3rd grade. I remember Miss Hearn paddled me. Miss Hearn was a petite white lady, boy. She raised that paddle back. She was red paddling me, boy. But if you can record it in the principal office, because it had to be in the principal office so you can have another witness, that's one. And you can send the parent the recording if they sign off to it. And if they don't, then I think you should bring what this picture just said.
That's right.
Parents, this is what we're proposing. We can paddle, or if you sign off and say we're not allowed to paddle, then if your student acts up, hit the teacher and all of that, you can be fined, and or if it's serious enough, jail time. If they hitting teachers, parents, you can be eligible for jail time.
Yeah.
Or you can be fined. And when I'm talking about fine, you will be paying a fine, and it will be going directly to the school system.
That's right.
I think they need to implement something like that. Whether the parents, so because you know what's going to happen, parents are going to be like, "You ain't paddling my child." Okay, cool. So if you are on that side, then this is what we're proposing. If you can't paddle, if the school system can't paddle, then we're proposing that these are the consequences that could happen, and the parents have to be held with some type of accountability. Because guess what's going to happen when you bring accountability in the house? Then parents going to be like, "Listen here, bro. Listen here, little Susan. You go to that school.
That's right.
You do what that teacher say.
That's right.
If you disagree,
Mm-hmm.
You go through the proper protocol because I'm not getting fined $5,000, $10,000 because you want to get up there some slap your
Going to
teacher.
my wages, or I got to go spend a weekend in jail.
Come on, dog.
And I think they do that, and they take the smartphones out to school, give them back flip phones. I think me personally, you get a syllabus every year, right? And
Yeah.
they get and you get what the material list. I feel like they should go to Walmart, and what should be on the material list is a flip phone. MJ. I think every child should go to school with a flip phone because the reason they let them take their phones is because they want them to be able to get in touch with them. Well, you get in touch with your child with this flip phone. It can't get on Instagram, TikTok, can't take no pictures, can't text, can't do nothing. All it can do is call, receive, and call. That's it.
Yeah, because you're right. Because
the distractions.
When the fights break out, what the first thing they do?
Then you got cyberbullying.
Yeah.
MJ, it'll end a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If we as parents, if we as people get off our blessings insurance and stop appeasing these kids.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make them happy. I don't want you to be happy. I want you to have structure.
Yeah.
You go to school with structure. I don't care about your happiness. It's not my job to make you happy. It's my job to raise you, and raising you is not always going to make you happy.
It's not, bro.
Simple as that. But the best thing I can give you is structure, because guess what? When I give you structure, you're going to be happy on the tail end.
Mm-hmm.
That's my goal, for you to be able to go through life, even when I get caught up and go be with the Lord, that you can be here and you're going to be all right. That's what I'm working for.
Mm-hmm.
Not for your short-term happiness. Then we got these big baby over emotional adults. That's just what they are.
Yeah.
Who can't face life, who life just whooping they behind because we've been appeasing them since they were young. Let's stop appeasing these kids. Take the smartphones away from school. Bring paddling back for the adults. We got all these visual technologies. We can even FaceTime you when you finna paddle your kids. It's just like having a doctor. If you have a doctor, most of the time when there's a female doctor and there's a male, and it's a male person that's getting seen, guess what? They have another person with a witness.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have this camera, and we're gonna have a witness right here.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say your child is not getting treated right, but this discipline finna happen.
Got to happen.
But we got to do something. But MJ, that goes back. White supremacy. They want our school system to continue to be like this.
And I was about to say that.
They want it. That's what they want.
Because we even had structure through the Jim Crow era in the schools.
Yeah.
Like think about all the stories that you heard about Granddaddy even when he was principal and teacher, and how he was respected. And even Granddaddy said teachers were the large black professions.
Yeah.
So they were respected. And that's why when the teachers marched, the movement swelled, because the teachers were respected back in the day. Nowadays, it's not the same. And a lot of that, the parents got to take responsibility for that, because we have allowed the child to think that they have some type of power. Now, it's a difference between you having some type of opinion or say so on certain things when I allow you to have it, and then a child knowing that they have power. That's two totally different things. And these kids nowadays know, oh, I can hit the teacher, or I can cuss out the teacher, or I can say something to the principal, and I know majority of the time my parents to a certain extent gonna have my back, and the law is gonna have my back. And so it allows them to think that they have more power and more, and they can say more than they really that really needs to be said. So I think if we bring a little of that back, man, then it'll fix a little bit of what's going on.
I wish my child would.
Alan,
I'm coming in there with the paddle. Resource officer, all of us going to jail. I'm going to jail. He going to jail. Everybody going to jail.
Hey, then who did Daddy pop up on? Was it you?
He popped up at Chapel Hill.
You talking you tell me?
Came up at Chapel Hill, but Daddy came in there with his pajama, long john shorts on, with the work boots on. Sure did, LJ. Popped up on. Well,
With the belt.
He didn't whoop, but the thing about it, he was able to get to the class with the belt.
Yeah.
So look, the principal, see, it's a different mindset. They knew Daddy was through there. Nowadays, if I come up to the school with a belt, they not let me in. It's a all this stuff that we didn't, we didn't put in place to protect the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's Dad.
Dad calling.
All this stuff that we didn't, we didn't put in place to protect the kids. You know what I'm saying? It's Dad. Hello? Hello?
That's what Daddy.
Yeah, your daddy said the police had to come here to the house too, Alan.
Sure did. They came to the house. That's when Daddy told the lady, look, I forgot what Daddy said. He said something. The lady never came back.
Either I whoop him or you bury him or something like that.
Yeah, he said, I'll whoop him, you lock him up, or we both bury him.
Yeah.
Yep. And that lady never came back to the house. Sure did.
Wasn't that the clipboard lady, Mom?
Yeah, the clipboard lady.
Mm-hmm.
My parents didn't play. They didn't play. You know what I'm saying? But we appreciate it though. Hey.
Y'all were good kids, though. Y'all were good.
Yeah. We wouldn't dare do the stuff they do today, though, Mom.
Oh, nah.
We wouldn't thought about it.
Nah.
Especially to the teachers. Y'all respected your teachers.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
All right then, Mom.
All right.
Hey, let me tell you, I don't know if I ever told you this story. I remember when Granddaddy walked up on me in school.
I don't remember that, bro.
Cedar Grove Elementary. I never forget this. Mama, it was after he came and spoke to the school.
Okay.
But then one day, I was at Cedar Grove Elementary. I'll never forget it. I was in 6th grade, and I didn't have my belt on, and my pants sagging a little bit. And there, out of nowhere, I'm like, I didn't know Granddaddy was in town. Granddaddy, Mama, Grandmama.
Ooh, the squad.
The squad, and then they pulled me in the room. I'm like, and Granddad, you know him, his forceful voice,
Yeah.
It's not how you was raised. And
Right.
But when I say MJ, I thought I saw a ghost. I promise you. Boy, I saw a ghost, MJ.
Yeah, you know what? They used to pull up. Hold on. Shout out to this is my mother-in-law. She said they need to bring a lot of it back. You're 100% right, Mama. They need to bring a lot of that back. Because I know in Mama Day, in my mother-in-law day, and I think Uncle Michael, he said talk about it. They had some of the things that we're saying, they definitely experienced it. But to your point, them because Mama pulled up on you at the bus stop too. They were pulling up on you.
They'll pull up on me. Mama whooped me from the front of the bus stop all the way to the back, and we stayed. That's when we stayed on Buford Highway, and we stayed in
W4.
She whooped me from the front. Bus dropped us off on Buford Highway, right in front of Cherry Hill's apartment, and Mama whooped me all the way to the house and got some more when I got in.
Yeah, now listen, I got it. Before we go, I got to add context to this. I got to tell the story from my perspective. So Cherry Hill, y'all. Hold on, let me read Candace White comment. I would think about doing anything because my family, or she wouldn't think about doing anything because her family was known at the school. My aunt worked in the cafeteria. My uncle was security at Cedar Grove High School. Didn't cross my mind because I knew they were coming from everywhere.
That's Shat niece.
Shat, yeah. Shat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me add the context. So, Alan, now mind y'all, Cherry Hill, I'm not lying, y'all. Our neighborhood at Cherry Hill, our Buford Highway, was 90% of the bus. 90% of the kids on the bus was Cherry Hill. So Alan got in trouble and he was explaining to me on the bus. I'm like, bro, what you did? He like, yeah, I did this, and we would always try to assess the situation before we got home. And then I was like, Alan, you know what? They ain't that you might not be in trouble, man. You might get a little grace. That bus pull, y'all know how the bus pull up and the brakes squeak. That bus pulled up at that bus stop, and all I saw was Mama down there with that belt I want to say she had on the road, and I looked at Allen. Bro, you in trouble.
Well, I got my behind toe up.
And Allen tried to and this is where he messed up. He waited till all the kids.
I sure did. I should have been first.
Yeah, he got off last.
Everybody saw that whooping. Everybody saw that whooping, boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. But yeah, those are the things. Those are the times we remember. And like Mama said, we respected our teachers, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's teachers in my mind that made an impact in our life, and that's what teachers are supposed to do when you allow them. When they are allowed to make a change. But now, is there some bad teachers out there? Yes.
Yeah.
The majority of them are good teachers. When they are allowed to make a change, real teachers will make a change. Because I know the people who's listening and watching, you can think of at least one teacher that you would never forget for the rest of your life that impacted you in some way, form, or fashion. So we need to respect the teachers, and I really think the teachers are fed up. They have no voice. You put 30 kids in a classroom, and the majority of the kids know that the teacher, they think as the teacher as an equal. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be tough for anyone, no matter the occupation, to be able to control that environment. If the law not on their side, the parents not on their side, the school board not on their side.
That's right.
Then what do they have to kind of have their back?
That's right.
And besides the occupation of a teacher, which isn't respected as it was back in the day, because you respect doctors when you hear doctor and your medical doctor, you respect pastors, but teachers were respected to that regard.
That's right.
Nowadays, it's not like that.
That's right.
So it's tough, man, on the teachers.
And I think
bring some of that back.
I think that's why a lot of men have walked away from the school system, because we are disciplinarians at heart, and I feel like if they brought some of that structure back, you would see a lot of men teachers go back into the school system. And I appreciate the ones that are still there.
Yeah,
I take my hat off to them. I gotta shout out one of our brother Pierre. He's a teacher out here in Clayton County, man, and he just got, I think, Teacher of the Year.
Yeah, Teacher of the Year, Marcus West.
Yeah, Marcus West, man, Selma, Alabama, but he here in Georgia, making Selma proud. He's a great teacher out there in Clayton County, man. Yeah. So I
think he want to be a principal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he'll be a good principal, man.
He want to be a principal, so yeah, shout out to him, man.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Pierre, man. Congratulations on that. Keep up the great work. Say that. But we need more like you.
Facts. Facts. I know we over our time, y'all. We appreciate you. I didn't say this. If you don't have the book, Selma Self-Sacrifice, it's on Amazon for now. We will be making some changes. So if you don't have the book, you see the book behind Alan with myself with the hat on holding the book. That is the book. So when you look it up on Amazon, if you see that picture, go ahead and purchase that. We are still doing the tours. We on Viator and Trip Advisory. We're doing a tour. This is tour season. When it get hot, people like the tour. So y'all gonna hear us and know that we in Selma more periodically. We got other things coming down the pipeline. We'll let y'all know all the things we have coming up. And Mr. Voting Rights hasn't made an appearance, but he got some things that working on with some interns in Selma. So shout out to the interns in Selma, Alabama at Wallace College. Am I missing something?
Yeah, I would like to say this to the people, man. If you want to see God move in your life, we're all imperfect beings. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. If you want God to move in your life, I submit to you to look at fasting. I've been fasting every other week, and God has really been revealing things to me. So as I do things, I like to share the good news. So I know a lot of people. I know your kids going to school. You know, some people, you know, you going to another job, or you're touring with a decision. You know what I'm saying? And you can't find the answer. You need clarity. I would submit to you, it's fast, pray. You know, the word talks about in Mark, the disciples was trying to do a few things and they couldn't get it done, and they was asking Christ why they couldn't get it done, and Christ said, you know, some things you just got to fast.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? When Jehoshaphat, when the enemy was coming from afar, and and he didn't know how to handle it. Before he went to God, he put the people on a fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then he went to the Lord, and God gave him his answer through the people around him, how to defeat the enemy. So fasting works, you know, because what people, it might be people might not want to admit it or not, but when you can't give up food, or food is a god to you, it is a lust problem. It is a flesh problem, a lust problem. And what you want to do, you want to show God that you're real about what you're trying to do when you sacrifice food, because it's hard. You know what I'm saying? So I submit to you, man. Y'all, you get on the fast, and watch you see God move in your life.
That's facts. That's facts. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back next Thursday. Take care of yourself, man. You know, and I would second that. You know, I know a lot of kids are graduating, and we see a lot of promotions, and that's fine and then, and that's great. And I like the kids with structure and everything. Take care of yourself, man. A lot of times, us as parents, we overlook ourselves and we want to implement everything to our kids. But I do see a lot of people taking their health more serious. Like brother said, they fasting. I've been doing fasting. Me and bro fasted together. When was that? A few weeks ago, a month. But Alan, he do it, I think, every week now. And I've been doing one meal a day here, and then I fast for breakfast. So yeah, we got some things we want some answers from. So we're not gonna ask y'all to do nothing we're not doing. Trust us. You know what I'm saying? We got some things we want God to answer for.
You've been fasting with me too.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Same here. Charlene been fasting with me. So yeah, that's a good word. So y'all take care of yourself, take care of your health, take that serious, man. And we want to see y'all live a long and prosperous life. Because a lot of the times it's people, we worried about the financial aspect, but we don't forget the health as well too. And I know First Nurse would say that she would second that if she was in the building. So yeah, we appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
The lineage. lineage.